Welcome to the Ramayan, Stories of Dharm and Devotion. I'm Sandeep, your storyteller, guiding you through the timeless epic of Valmiki's Ramayan. While our narrative is rooted in Valmiki's original text, we weave in stories from other Indian traditions to provide a wholesome understanding of this eternal tale. In today's episode, we follow Ram and Lakshman as they continue their search for Sita. Along their journey, they encounter Ayomukhi, a demoness with sinister intentions, and Kabandha, a cursed Gandharva turned monstrous demon. Their path finally leads them to Shabari, an old devotee whose unwavering love and devotion for Ram becomes one of the most poignant moments in their journey.
The dense forest surrounded Ram and Lakshman as they trudged onward, their hearts heavy with sorrow. The towering trees cast long shadows over the brothers, who remained vigilant, their eyes scanning for any signs of Sita. The sounds of the forest, chirping birds, rustling leaves, and the occasional growl of distant predators seemed to echo their inner turmoil. Suddenly, from behind a thick grove, a figure emerged. Ayomukhi, a towering demoness with sharp claws and menacing eyes, stepped into their path. Her gaze fixed on Lakshman, her lips curling into a cruel smile. "Oh, what beauty wanders into my domain," she sneered, her voice a mix of mockery and malice. "Such a handsome prince, and yet you look so distraught. Come, dear one, let me comfort you. I shall make you the king of this forest, and you shall have no need for your brother's shadow." Lakshman's expression darkened, his grief over Sita's abduction mixing with a simmering anger. "Step aside, demoness," he said coldly. "We have no quarrel with you, but I will not hesitate to strike you down if you impede our path." Ayomukhi laughed, her voice echoing through the trees. "Such defiance. I see fire in you, prince. It makes you even more desirable." She lunged forward, her claws aiming for Lakshman's face. He dodged, but not before she managed to pluck a lock of his hair. Her action reignited a fury in Lakshman, a rage born of the memories of Surpancha's treachery. Her advances, her lies, and her ultimate role in Sita's abduction all surged to the forefront of his mind. "Another wild demoness dares to taunt us," he muttered, gripping the celestial sword he had found earlier in the forest. The sword, gleaming with an ethereal glow, seemed to respond to his anger. Lakshman raised it high, its blade catching the dappled sunlight streaming through the canopy. "You dare to harm me as Surpancha did?" he roared. "You demons bring nothing but sorrow and destruction." With a swift and decisive strike, Lakshman slashed at Ayomukhi, severing her claws. The demoness screamed in agony, stumbling backward as her blood stained the forest floor. Lakshman's eyes blazed with righteous fury as he stepped closer. Ayomukhi, now trembling, spat defiantly. "You are a fool, prince. My kin will avenge me." Lakshman's voice was cold as ice. "Your kind thrives on deceit and destruction. Let this be a warning to all who dare cross the path of Ram and Lakshman." Ram, who had been watching silently, placed a hand on Lakshman's shoulder. "Brother, let her go. Her defeat is punishment enough." Lakshman, breathing heavily, lowered his sword. Ayomukhi, clutching her wounded hands, retreated into the shadows of the forest, her screams fading into the distance. Ram's calm presence eased Lakshman's anger, though the fire in his heart still burned. "Lakshman," Ram said gently, "I know your grief and anger, but we must not let hatred cloud our purpose. Sita awaits us, and our journey is far from over." Lakshman nodded, his grip on the sword relaxing. "You are right, brother. Forgive my outburst. I shall not waver again." Together, the brothers continued their path through the forest, the celestial sword gleaming at Lakshman's side, a symbol of their resolve and the challenges yet to come. As Ram and Lakshman ventured deeper into the forest, they suddenly felt a powerful presence. The ground trembled, and out of the shadows emerged Kabandha, a monstrous being with no head or neck, a single eye on his chest, and grotesquely long arms that stretched toward them like giant snakes. The brothers stopped in their tracks as Kabandha let out a thunderous roar. "Who dares enter my domain? You shall be my next meal." With lightning speed, Kabandha's arms lashed out, grabbing both Ram and Lakshman. Despite their struggles, the demon's grip was unyielding. But Ram, his voice calm and unwavering, addressed the creature. "Release us, Kabandha, and tell us who you truly are. Your form betrays a tale of great suffering." Kabandha paused, startled by Ram's composure. A flicker of recognition crossed his eye. You are no ordinary men," he growled, loosening his grip slightly. "If you are truly who I think you are, free me from this curse, and I will aid you." Ram's gaze sharpened. "Speak, Kabandha. Tell us your story." Kabandha's voice softened, tinged with regret. "I was once a Gandharva named Vishwavasu, known for my beauty and talents. But my arrogance led me to attack Lord Indra in my quest for power. As punishment, he cursed me into this monstrous form. Only death by your hands, Ram, can release me from this torment." Lakshman, still tense, looked to Ram. "Brother, should we trust his words?" Ram nodded solemnly. "Even the cursed deserve redemption, Lakshman. Let us end his suffering." Kabandha, sensing their intent, guided them to a clearing near a river. He bowed his grotesque form before them. "Strike me down and burn my body. In doing so, you shall gain the guidance you need." Ram received a sword from Lakshman and, with a heavy heart, severed Kabandha's head. Lakshman prepared the funeral pyre, and together they consigned the demon's body to the flames. The clearing was now still, save for the crackling of the fire that consumed Kabandha's monstrous body. Ram and Lakshman stood solemnly, their faces illuminated by the flickering flames. As the fire consumed the cursed form, a radiant light emerged from the blaze. Kabandha's spirit, no longer bound by the grotesque form of the demon, appeared before them in its original Gandharva form. His countenance was serene, his voice filled with gratitude. "Ram, Lakshman," Kabandha said, bowing deeply, "your act of compassion and courage has freed me from this torment. My curse is lifted, and I am forever indebted to you." Ram's expression was calm but questioning. "Your gratitude is appreciated, Kabandha. But if you truly wish to repay us, tell us what you know." "My wife, Sita, has been taken by the demon King Ravan. We seek any guidance that may aid us in finding her." Kabandha's gaze softened as he spoke. "My lord, your path is arduous, but your quest is righteous. To find Sita, you will need allies who possess both strength and knowledge. There is one who can aid you immensely, Sugreev, the king of the Vanaras." Lakshman, ever cautious, interjected. "Why should we trust a Vanar king, Kabandha? What makes him worthy of aiding Ram in such a perilous mission?" Kabandha smiled knowingly. "Sugreev is no ordinary king. Though his heart carries the burden of exile, much like yours, he is valiant and noble-hearted. His strength is unmatched among the Vanaras, and his loyalty to those who earn his trust is unwavering. More than that, he is a strategist, a leader who commands respect among his kind." He turned his gaze to Ram. "My lord, Sugreev knows the directions of this world like the back of his hand. He has explored the deepest forests, the highest peaks, and the most hidden realms. His knowledge of geography and his network of allies among the Vanaras will be invaluable in your search for Sita." Lakshman's skepticism began to wane as he listened. A noble-hearted ally with knowledge of the world's hidden paths could indeed prove valuable. "But how do we find this Sugreev, Kabandha?" Kabandha pointed toward the southern horizon. "Seek him on the slopes of the Rishamukha mountain. You will find him surrounded by a band of loyal Vanaras who share in his struggle and support his cause." Ram's eyes, filled with resolve, met Kabandha's. "Your guidance is invaluable, Kabandha. If Sugreev is as noble and resourceful as you say, I will seek him out. Together, we shall overcome the darkness that has befallen my path." Kabandha bowed once more, his form beginning to dissolve into the ether. May your quest bring light to the world, Ram. And may Sugreev prove to be the ally you need. My spirit is at peace, knowing I have played a small part in aiding your righteous journey. With those words, Kabandha's spirit vanished, leaving the clearing in a serene stillness. Ram turned to Lakshman, determination etched on his face. Lakshman, we head south. The journey ahead will test us, but with Sugreev's aid, we may find the path to Sita. Lakshman nodded, his earlier skepticism replaced with hope. Together, brother, we will find her. Let us waste no time. As they set off toward Rishamukha mountain, the brothers carried Kabandha's words with them, their hearts bolstered by the promise of a new ally in their quest to reunite with Sita. The brothers continued their journey, weary yet determined. Their path led them to the ashram of Shabari, a humble dwelling surrounded by flowering trees and the serene sounds of nature. The path to Shabari's ashram was a narrow, winding trail nestled at the base of Mount Rishamukha. Ram and Lakshman, weary from their journey but resolute in their purpose, moved forward. The air was filled with the gentle rustling of leaves and the soft chirping of birds, a rare moment of peace amidst the turmoil of their quest. Ram's gaze turned to the landscape, a serene setting that seemed untouched by the world's chaos. Lakshman, he said softly, this place radiates calm, as if the very earth itself is waiting to guide us forward. Lakshman, scanning the path ahead, pointed toward a small, humble hut at the edge of the forest clearing. Brother, I see a dwelling. Perhaps its occupant can provide us with some guidance. As they approached the hut, an elderly woman emerged, her face lined with age, but glowing with a light that seemed almost divine. She leaned on a walking stick for support, her frail frame belied by the energy in her eyes. This was Shabari, a woman whose life had been a testament to unwavering devotion. Shabari's story was one of simplicity, service, and profound devotion. Born in a humble village, she had always been a seeker of truth. Her early life was filled with a longing to understand the essence of dharm. One day, driven by an inner calling, she left her village and wandered through forests, seeking a guide who could lead her to spiritual fulfillment. Her journey brought her to the ashram of sage Mathanga at the foot of Mount Rishamukha. Despite her humble background, Shabari's sincere plea to serve caught the sage's attention. Great One, she had said, I wish to learn the meaning of dharm. Please accept me as your disciple. Moved by her devotion, sage Mathanga welcomed her into the ashram. Shabari dedicated her life to serving her guru with unwavering devotion. She performed even the humblest tasks with love, caring for the ashram, tending to the sages, and immersing herself in spiritual practice. Over the years, her devotion and humility earned the respect of all who knew her. When sage Mathanga was preparing to take mahasamadhi, a state of deep, eternal meditation leading to liberation from the cycle of birth and death, Shabari approached him with tears in her eyes. Guru, she pleaded, you have guided me all my life. Please take me with you to the heavenly abodes. Mathanga, deeply moved by her service and love, replied, Shabari, your devotion is unparalleled, but your purpose is not yet complete. I bless you to wait here in this ashram, for you will receive the darshan of Lord Vishnu himself in the form of Ram. That will be your ultimate liberation. With these words, Mathanga sat in lotus posture and attained mahasamadhi. Shabari, though filled with sorrow at her guru's departure, held on to his blessing as her life's purpose. Every day, she would rise with the dawn, collect berries from the forest, and clean the ashram, believing that Ram's arrival could happen at any moment. The moment Shabari saw Ram and Lakshman approaching her ashram, her heart filled with ecstasy. Tears streamed down her face as she fell to the ground in a reverent bow. My Lord Ram, the wait is over, she said, her voice trembling with emotion. My Guru, sage Mathanga, foretold that you would come. He said your darshan would be my greatest blessing, and today his words have come true. Ram stepped forward and gently helped her to her feet, his expression warm and kind. Mother, your devotion humbles me. We are but travelers on a difficult path. How is it that you have awaited us with such faith? Shabari clasped her hands, her voice filled with joy. Lord, my Guru taught me that bhakti, pure devotion, transcends all boundaries. I was a wanderer, lost in the world, until I found refuge in his guidance. He assured me that you would grace this humble ashram. Since then, I have lived each day in anticipation of this moment. Shabari gestured to her small ashram, its simplicity adorned with leaves and flowers she had meticulously gathered. Each day, I ventured into the forest to collect berries for you, tasting each one to ensure only the sweetest would reach your lips. Forgive me, Lord, if my actions were unworthy. Lakshman's brow furrowed slightly. Mother, it is not customary to taste offerings before presenting them. Yet you did so knowingly? Shabari bowed her head, her voice unwavering. My lord, I may not know the intricacies of rituals, but I know the language of love and devotion. These fruits carry my heart's prayer for your journey. Ram smiled, his eyes filled with affection. Mother, your offering is the purest of all. It is not the ritual that matters, but the love behind it. These berries, gathered with such care and devotion, are a treasure beyond compare. Ram took a berry from the handmade leaf ball Shabari offered and tasted it. His face lit up with delight. Lakshman, you must try these. No fruit in the royal gardens of Ayodhya compares to this. Lakshman hesitated, but, seeing Ram's encouragement, he took a berry. As he tasted it, he nodded in agreement. Mother, your devotion imbues these fruits with a sweetness that words cannot describe. Shabari's eyes glistened with happiness. My lord, my life's purpose is fulfilled. Yet, if I may, I wish to offer one more piece of guidance for your journey. Ram nodded. Please speak, Mother. Your wisdom is a light on our path. Shabari pointed southward. Seek Sugreev, the noble king of the Vanaras, who resides on Rishamukha mountain. He is valiant, noble-hearted, and knows every direction of this world. Sugreev will aid you in your quest to find Sita. Ram placed his hands together in gratitude. Your words are a balm to my soul, Mother. Your devotion and guidance will forever remain in my heart. As Ram and Lakshman prepared to leave, Shabari approached Ram one last time. Lord, she said softly, I have seen your divine form, and my life is complete. Allow me to follow in my Guru's footsteps and attain mahasamadhi. Ram blessed her, his voice filled with reverence. Mother, your devotion has brought you here, and your faith has been unwavering. May your soul find eternal peace. Shabari knelt in lotus posture, her face serene, and chanted Ram's name as her soul ascended to the heavenly realms. Flowers bloomed around her hut, and the forest seemed to sigh in reverence as the light of her devotion merged with the cosmos. Ram and Lakshman bowed deeply to her remains, their hearts filled with both sorrow and inspiration. As they left the ashram, they carried with them the strength of Shabari's devotion, a guiding light on their arduous journey ahead. Ram and Lakshman's journey through the forest was marked by trials and revelations. The encounters with Ayomukhi and Kabandha tested their strength, while Shabari's devotion reminded them of the unwavering power of faith. As they left Shabari's ashram, Ram and Lakshman felt a renewed sense of purpose. The path to Sita was becoming clearer, and their resolve to bring her back was stronger than ever.
With this episode, we near the conclusion of the Aranya Kanda, a chapter that has led us through the dense forests of Dandaka and unfolded tales of unparalleled courage, unwavering devotion, and profound sacrifice. From the sorrow of Sita's abduction to the valiant efforts of Jatayu, and from encounters with formidable adversaries like Kabandha and Ayomukhi to the divine devotion of Shabari, this chapter reveals the true essence of dharm. As we prepare to summarize the Aranya Kanda in the next episode, we reflect on its lessons of resilience, the strength of faith, and the power of justice. The Aranya Kanda has set the stage for Ram's growing determination to reunite with Sita and overcome the forces of adharm. Next, we embark on the Kishkindha Kanda, where alliances will be forged, destinies intertwined, and the quest for Sita will take a decisive turn. Join us as the journey continues, bringing us closer to the ultimate triumph of dharm over darkness. Thank you for joining me on the Ramayan stories of dharm and devotion. Share this tale with your loved ones, and may its timeless lessons inspire your journey. While we may not know exactly what happened, this eternal story of the Ramayan serves as a guide for how we conduct ourselves in our day-to-day lives. Until next time, may the light of dharm guide your path and fill your heart with peace.